for joining us today. Still letting folks in here, but also at the same time want to be respectful of everyone's time. So without further to introduce myself first, if we haven't met, Cole Reel on the membership team over here at the Chamber with Heather McGrail, who you heard earlier talking about her children.
Of course.
And today we're very happy to be joined with Mallory Rinker of Mallory K Social to lead us through the amazing world of LinkedIn and teach us all the things that we do not know. Maybe some of you are very experienced with LinkedIn, but you know, we're all here to learn today. So without further ado, Mallory, if you'd like to take it away.
Hi, yes, thank you. I'm very excited to be here today. So a few things to note before I start is, yes, Cole is recording this. So if you are someone that likes to just sit back and listen and then go back and review, so you don't feel frantic taking notes, so you don't feel like you missed anything, that is fantastic. Also, the PowerPoint that I'm presenting today, I will download that and send that out to you if you want it as well in like a follow-up email. I have some other free gifts for you at the end as well. So I can put all of that together and send it out. So if you don't want to take notes and you just want to kick back and listen, feel free to do that. There will be many ways for you to review the material at the end. And as we go through the presentation, feel free to drop questions in the chat so you don't forget as we go. And it is my intention to be brief with this. I don't feel like I need to listen to myself for longer than 30 minutes. So we can have time to talk about things that are really unique and specific to your business, because I really want to serve you and your business with social media and get to those nitty-gritty specific questions. So you're going to learn today a little bit who I am, LinkedIn basics. So hopefully if you already have a LinkedIn and you feel super experienced, I hope you can pull at least one or two things out of this presentation. Again, if you have questions at the end, I'm happy to go over anything with you. Profile optimization. I'm going to touch a little bit on content creation 101, because that is my specialty, is content creation for small businesses. So I can't do any social media presentation without talking about content creation just a little bit. Other strategies for LinkedIn to grow your page, get some engagement, expand your reach, and then a few things we can talk about before I go. So who am I? I am Mallory. I'm the owner and founder of Mallory K Social. Mallory K Social is a social media marketing agency that offers everything from consulting to full hands-off social media management and everything in between. The purpose of Mallory K Social is to help small businesses shine online with free social media growth strategies. And that's enough about me. Let's get to the reason why we're here. Is you want all of the juicy details about how to use LinkedIn for your business. So by a show of virtual hands, who here has a LinkedIn profile, either personally or professionally for your business? Okay, that's great. So you can lower that hand. And then, okay, by a show of virtual hands, who does not have a LinkedIn profile? And it's totally okay. Okay, that's great too. So if you, I know I have been frustrated with social media. I feel like we all have. That's a common thread. Social media, it's always changing. I feel like best practices are always changing. So what is LinkedIn? Like all other social media platforms, LinkedIn is used for sharing and creating content, connecting with other users, and growing a community. But what sets LinkedIn apart is its professional focus. So this is a place to find job opportunities, showcase your skills, join discussions with industry experts, promote your brand or products, and even drive traffic to your website. The question is, a lot of the time, is how do we do this effectively? So the biggest thing that I like to talk about first is clarity, because on average, you have less than 7 seconds for someone to capture their attention if they see your profile, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. you have less than 7 seconds on average as a social media user for them to decide whether or not they want to follow you or connect with you. So your social media strategy needs to be crystal clear, and that all starts with optimizing your profile. So we are going to talk about profile optimization first. That's the basics. So whether you are B2B or B2C, before someone decides whether or not they're going to follow you, work with you, they're probably going to stalk you a little bit, hopefully just online. So profile optimization. So if you go over to my LinkedIn profile, this is pretty much what it looks like right now. I just sort of tweaked it and updated it as I went through this presentation. So there are many, many parts to the profile, and there's many of them, and they can all be important depending on what your goals are, but I'm going to touch on the 5 pieces that I think are most important and what I have seen from working with my clients all across the board, whether they're like a nutritionist or a PR firm, race car driver, that's like the variety of the clients that I work with. So these 5 pieces. So we have your profile picture, your background photo, your headline, the summary, and relevant skills. So profile picture first. This is obviously should be either the face of your brand, if it's your brand, personal brand, face of your brand, or if it's your personal profile, should be the face of your brand. The photo should be clear, a recent photo. Your face should be more than 50% of the frame. So if I'm being honest, if I'm looking at my picture right now, my face is a little small. And I will tell you why, is because I'm incorporating tools of the trade, which see the laptop at the bottom of the screen. It's what I do. I'm also waiting for new headshots. So when I get those new headshots, I definitely will have a closer up picture of my face, because you have to think most people are on LinkedIn on their phone. So the smaller the circle, the more your face needs to take up. And consider smiling. On average, people find you like more friendly, more approachable, maybe more eager to work with you if they think you're a little bit more friendly. And then you can also use your company's logo for this. So you just want to make sure that it's legible. So I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by that. So you can see my logo is my background photo, because when I put it in this circle, the smaller the circle gets, like you'll never be able to read that. So I have, that's part of my logo. It's a smaller version. It's a variation of my logo that could be used instead of my profile picture if I wasn't the face of my brand. The background photo. So this is a good place if you do want to put your company's logo to fill up that space. I think it looks really nice next to your photo. If it's your face and you want them to know exactly what company you work for, you can also design this background. So you could do like sort of like a collage. I see people that do multiple things. Maybe they're a fitness instructor and they make like a sort of like a graphic design for the back. If you're taking notes, the size of the LinkedIn background I've given you right here, 1584 by 396. If you make that in any sort of graphic design program, that's the exact size you want. So you're welcome for the size. So it doesn't get that awkward like cutoff. This could also be a photo of your business. The chamber could put like, the skyline of Manchester there. Or if you own like a spa, you could put a photo of one of the areas of the spa. You can get creative with this. It's really going to be sort of that pop on your profile. And if you don't have that, it's kind of a wasted opportunity. Next, we're talking about the headline. So this is that tiny little line of characters right underneath your name. So this is searchable. So what that means is you must include relevant keywords. And I say must, it's a suggestion, but I'm going to tell you why that's important. If you include keywords, so in mine, right, it says growth, organic growth strategies, content creation, graphic design, social media management. If people don't know me, they don't know what I do, they don't know my business. If they type in content creation, or graphic design or social media management, I'm going to come up as a search in their area, like in the area of Manchester. So you want to put those relevant keywords. So if you are a real estate agent, it would be great if you wanted to put like locations in there. Oops. Locations in there. Anything that's relevant or pertinent to your business that you think people would search and find you on Google, you could also put here. This also needs to be clear. So again, we talked about you really need to capture your audience's attention. So this is a great place for like an I help statement. So that can be broken down by I help who, with what, by how. So I help small businesses with what? Growing and shining on social media with free, and like the how is free organic growth strategies, content creation, graphic design, social media management. This is also like PS. This is great for like your Instagram bio. Like this can all be the same. This sort of like I help statement. Moving on to the summary. So on your LinkedIn page, this will be a little bit further down. I think it appears below, just above your resume or your previous employers. So make it a story, make it interesting. People want to read about you as it relates to your business. Why would someone want to work with you? Like above, if you are a real estate agent, above any other hundreds of real estate agents in the state of New Hampshire, even in the city of Manchester. This should be similar to your about page on your website, but it can differ a little bit and be more personal to you because the about page on your website might be more about your business. And this could be about how you relate to your business, why you're passionate about it, and why people want to work with you. The fifth piece that I think is so important is this relevant skills and endorsements portion. And I think it often gets overlooked because people either don't want to take skill quizzes or they don't know what to put here. So this should be between 3 to 5 relevant skills. These should always be like up to date. So if your business is growing and you keep adding services, what do you really want to promote? What do you really want to push? Because the more stuff you have listed, the less likely someone's going to read the whole thing. So I say 3 to 5. I think it's good. It forces us to keep kind of like spring cleaning and chipping away at what's important to us in our business. So this is good to do every quarter, every 6 months, whenever you sort of do like a business review. The other thing that is important about this is the endorsements piece. So other LinkedIn members can give you endorsements, which helps build credibility. So you can see here on mine, creating brand awareness. I worked with an organization on a fundraiser. I helped them with their branding for it. We created this huge social media campaign. And so someone from the organization came to my page and gave me an endorsement for that skill because that's what we did together. And that makes you look really good. You know, like if you work with people and they can sort of, this is something that you say like, oh, leave me a review on Google or leave me a review on my website or a testimonial. Like this is something that you can ask for. Like if someone is just like singing your praises, say, hey, like, do you mind? Are we connected on LinkedIn? I'd love to connect with you. Can you go give me an endorsement on my page? And it's super easy for them to do. So those are the 5 pieces of the profile optimization that I think are important for just anyone to get started. And of course, like I said, there's more pieces. There's your employment history. There's a bunch of different things that make up the profile, but I think these are the most important for people that don't know you to get to know you before they talk to you. Okay, so now we're going to touch on content creation 101. Content creation is huge. And a lot of people ask me as a social media manager, what should I be posting online? That is the number one question I get. And before we go into any of this, it is always going to be unique to you and your business. And it's going to be unique to what your goals are, what your business goals are, what your goals are for social media. Do you want to gain followers? Do you want to grow your email list? The calls to action will be different. It really is just a different way to get people into your funnel, right? Whether it's signing them up for your newsletter, getting them over to your blog post. It's all social media profiles are really just a place for you to prepare your audience to work with you, to buy from you, to sign up for your next course. That's really what content creation is about. So there are so many different elements to content creation. And I'm going to touch on these briefly, but know that content creation is something that it just takes effort and it takes time. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. It doesn't have to be scary. My favorite way to create content is I block off 4 hours of my day once a month, put on a big old pot of coffee, and just sit down and batch create all my content for the month so that I know it's ready to go. So that's my like little PSA about content creation before we dive in. So like I said, content creation, we start with goals, frequency of posting, the types of content that you can create, the actual creation, and then the execution. And the one that is the easiest, I think you will find, is the one that stops you the most. And we'll get to that towards the end. So goals. What are your goals for social media? These determine what you will post about, and they're different for everyone's business. Goals for a restaurant on social media, it's to get people in the door. It's to get people to order takeout, to, they might want to grow their following. They might have a blog where they post recipes, but these goals are going to be different from someone that like sells a product online, which is probably like get them over to the website. So this is why one social media strategy does not fit all. And you want to make sure that these are SMART goals. And I'm sure we've all heard of SMART goals. They're specific, measurable, achievable within that time frame, realistic, timely. It's a breakdown of SMART goals, and I'll give you some examples of SMART and not so SMART goals for social media. So examples of SMART goals. And I'm saying this is maybe for a month. So maybe my SMART goals this month are add 30 people to my email list. That's one person a day. Make 30 new connections on LinkedIn. Sign one new client. Drive 30 people over to my Instagram. My Instagram is my bread and butter. That's where I sign most of my clients. I feel like my content is more creative on Instagram than LinkedIn. So I might want to use LinkedIn to drive 30 people over to my Instagram, get 30 signups for my next workshop. Not as SMART goals. Grow my email list, make new connections, sign new clients, drive people to my Instagram, get signups for my next workshop. There's nothing measurable. There's nothing specific. It leaves me with a really big backdoor. So grow my email list. Okay, like one person might sign up for my email list. Technically, did I grow my email list? Yeah. But with marketing and sales, we know someone needs to see your product or hear the same thing, I think on an average of 16 times before they even consider buying from you. So that's why we really want to be specific with our goals. So once we have our goals for our content creation, we can talk about frequency. Frequency means how many times are you going to post? Do you hang out on LinkedIn a lot? If you hang out on LinkedIn a lot, it's pretty easy to get a post out Monday through Friday. If you don't hang out on LinkedIn a lot, or you don't like creating content, it's going to be more difficult because you're not really committed to the platform the way you might be committed to writing your blog or being on Facebook. So how often you're going to post, what can you realistically commit to? What is sustainable long-term? It's sort of like when you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to get exercise, I'm going to do all these things, drink water, no coffee, all this stuff. You put it all on one thing, like on your plate at once. And then you like don't do one thing and you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't do any of it. It's the same with social media. If you're like, I'm going to post 5 times a day, you might do it for one day or maybe 2. And then the third day, it's going to go down and you're going to get discouraged. So realistically, what I recommend is 2 to 3 times a week to start. For consistency, if you're not on the platform, 2 to 3 times a week. And we'll get into the types of content that are easy to publish on LinkedIn. This is different for everyone. Like I said, if you chill on LinkedIn a lot and you love it, it's going to be easier for you than someone that isn't really on LinkedIn yet. So my recommendation, if you're on LinkedIn, but you're just really not, you're kind of like lurking, like you follow a lot, you watch a lot, you're an observer. My recommendation is once per day. If you're not on LinkedIn a lot, I would say try to start twice a week. Once per day, Monday through Friday. I'm a big fan of weekends off. These are the types of content that we can produce on LinkedIn. And I'm just going to briefly run down. Job postings, right? This is a professional site. Job postings are going to be really beneficial for you to also to highlight your company and what it does. Photos and videos. Photos and videos are just more eye-catching, and it's nice to break up the feed, especially if there's a lot of text. A photo and video is just something that somebody is more likely to stop and look at and then read the content that goes along with it. Company updates, like what's going on at your company? Can you give someone a shout out? Maybe someone that works for you, someone that got an award. People really like to see what's going on with the company culture, especially if you're posting jobs. And if they go and click and go through your feed and see, wow, like they look like they have really great team spirit and they really, hold each other up, they're going to want to be a part of that company culture. So make sure that, that you have great company culture and that you're posting company updates. Industry news and research. This is something you can promote yourself. You can write industry news, you can conduct your own research, but also this is something that's really easy to share. So if you follow people in your industry, say I want to post Tuesday and Thursday each week. Tuesday, I post a blog that I wrote. Thursday, I could just share something that someone else wrote, but make sure that it's relevant to your industry. I'm not going to go share something about like construction if it just comes up in my feed because I think it's cool. Like, why would I share it? Oh, maybe it's a really cool marketing video and I could share and talk about the elements of marketing that I like within it and share that with my fellow content creators to inspire them. Whenever we're sharing other people's content, we want to make sure that it's something that's like relevant to us. If that makes sense. Helpful lists, how to style posts, quick tips. People love tangible things they can either save or take with them. So a post that I did the other day or a few weeks ago on LinkedIn, I made a graphic that was for my fellow content creators. It was a graphic that showed every single size graphic for every single platform on social media. So Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, I broke down every single size of each, like what your profile picture size should be, your banner, your posts. People went wild. People saved it. They shared it. They loved it. It's tangible and they could take it and run with it right away. So these are really great. Graphics made specifically for LinkedIn. If you like to make graphics, share photos, you can make them specifically sized for LinkedIn so it's of optimal view. This is 1200 by 627. I use Canva to make most of my graphics. If you use InDesign, it's the same size. This is the size that when people are scrolling on their phone, they are most likely to stop and take it in. Long form content like blog posts or articles. So if you have a blog, this is really great to just literally copy and paste, but paste it in as a LinkedIn article. And at the bottom of the article say, hey, this was originally published on my blog, and link it over. Long form content is something that LinkedIn really promotes because it's more, they feel like it's more of a like professional share is this long form content blog post. They feel like it's research, it's a lot of words, it's great for SEO. So long form content like blogs or articles is really great for LinkedIn. So again, like if you have a blog or even someone in the office that you guys could share taking turns writing the blog, that would be awesome. And then as always, the 3 V's of content is something I want to share. So your content should always be a good mix of these 3. Viral, which is something people are going to want to share, memes, GIFs, things that are funny, like fake tweets, something of value. Again, like that graphic that I made, so like a list, a how-to post, something that's educational. They're going to want to save that. And then virtue is something that they're going to like savor, like it's going to touch them. It's going to evoke emotion. They're going to be like, wow, I can really relate to this person. So when you're creating all these different types of content, think about having a good blend of these 3 V's. Now the creation part. The actual creation is like, how will you create this content? And like I told you, I batch create mine at the beginning of the month. That doesn't work for sometimes that doesn't even work for me. Sometimes I do it week by week. But once you have your frequency of posting, how many posts you need per month, and then you kind of get a good feeling of what types of content you want to post, you can sort of sit down and create this content. And these are the free tools that I use for my own content creation. I'll walk you through these really quickly. So for my brain dumping, I use the Notes app. All of these are you can do on your phone or on your laptop. So all of these, so brain dumping, my Notes app in my phone, I open up a note and say, I want to do a post about this so I don't forget. Photo editing, I use Adobe Lightroom. Graphic design, I use Canva. That is a super easy beginner 101. They have lots of templates. If you have not heard of Canva, it's free. This is the hill I will die on. I love Canva. I think every business should use it if you don't have an in-house graphic designer. Organization, I use Google Drive. It's super easy to move things around, to repurpose my content. And scheduling, you can schedule LinkedIn posts through Canva. You can also schedule them for free through Hootsuite. And my pro tip is organization is the key to sustainability in content creation. If you are organized, it will be easy for you to fall into this method of content creation. If you are not organized, you are going to be like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, what is social media? And the execution, I talked about how earlier the easiest one, which is the execution, is always the hardest part for people. Don't forget to post. Like you spend all this time working on your content, putting it all together, and then you just like forget to post it. Or you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know when to post it. And that's different for everyone. You just need to try it out and see when your audience is receptive to things. You can use the analytics on LinkedIn or through Hootsuite or a scheduler, whatever you use. But the execution, this is my biggest thing is like a lot of my clients that I talk to, they're like, oh, we have so much content. I talked to a client or a prospective client. He had like 3,000 photos he had taken and just was not posting them. So just don't forget to post. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to put it out there. Don't let that analysis paralysis and that perfection stop you from moving forward, because the more you post, the more comfortable you're going to get with it. Other strategies for LinkedIn to grow your page. We talked about before, LinkedIn, all social media profiles, platforms are to connect, make connections, grow your community, foster that engagement. So these strategies, so you have your content, you're posting your content, you feel good about it. Something that's really easy to do, add hashtags to your posts, engagement, advertising, and cross promotion. So hashtags. With each post, you can add hashtags to your post. Hashtags are a huge monster in themselves. The strategies are all different. For LinkedIn, best practices, per my research and also like with my clients of all different kinds, use 5 to 8. You can put like as many as you want. I don't suggest that. That's confusing to the algorithm. 3 of them should stay the same. This could be a broader industry hashtag, a location-based hashtag, a niche hashtag. For me, I like to use like my broad industry hashtag, social media management, location, Manchester, New Hampshire, niche, content creation. Then 5 that rotate. So this is based on your content. If you are a real estate agent, I don't know why real estate agent, it just keeps coming to me today, but that's what I'm using. I'm going with it. if you're talking about winterizing your house, you can use hashtags that's like winterize your home, like winter is coming. These will rotate based on your content that you are talking about. So like you wouldn't use like winter is coming in the spring. You'd probably use like spring cleaning. Am I making sense? They should rotate the 3 that stay the same and then 5 that rotate based on whatever it is you're talking about. Follow hashtags for inspiration. So when you're scrolling through your feed, the things that pop up, it's based on what you follow. So when you follow hashtags relevant to your industry, you can join in on the discussion and find new trending topics. So if you see a hashtag that's trending, you click on it, you say, oh, I could write up something on that real quick or share this article and write my opinion about it. Then you're in the conversation. More people are going to be clicking on your stuff. You're using that trending hashtag. People are going to see your posts when they click that hashtag. So that's one growth strategy, is just add a few hashtags to your posts. Next one is engagement. LinkedIn is about connections and community. Do not post and ghost. So what I mean by that is I did my content, I'm gonna post, and then I just turn the app off. Post your post, scroll down, find something interesting, comment on it, start the conversation, and then people are likely to get a notification and open their app, and then they'll see your post. And then you have automatic eyes on your new post. Your engagement is going to grow faster, and it's like a snowball effect. The quicker people see your posts, the more people will see your posts. And that goes across all social media platforms. We already talked about this a little bit, but another engagement strategy is sharing relevant content from your LinkedIn feed. And so this is a super easy way to beef up your page. If you think like, oh, I can only commit to really creating one unique blog post a week for my page, share someone else's. And then you have something on your page that's relevant and on brand to your business, and you're interacting with and engaging with someone else's profile, and they're going to be like, oh, someone shared my post. Who shared my post? And then they're going to go look, and then they're also going to feel good. Like it's about connections and community. I'm fostering that community. Tag other users in your post. I do this a lot. I love to follow other social media management companies, Hootsuite, Later, HubSpot, those types of things. And when I talk about certain things that they're talking about, maybe I read something in one of their newsletters and I shared it, I'll tag them, tag industry professionals, experts, other companies. That's going to get their eyes on your post. And then they might share your post to their page with their thousands of followers, and they're going to see your post. So that's another engagement strategy. 2 more engagement strategies. Advertising. I focus on organic growth techniques with my clients. We don't pay for ads. It's all organic. All these strategies I'm teaching you, and they work. However, some people like to pay for ads. Based on my LinkedIn research, these are the benefits of using advertising. You can access a wider audience, target your audience with more accuracy, because when you pay for ads, you can put in your location, your exact type of person that you want to see your content. Customize your budget to your business, connect with individuals in your target audience directly, support your account-based marketing campaigns, create a variety of ads from video to text. So encourage other people to follow you on LinkedIn. It sounds silly, but it works. Sometimes every once in a while, I'll go on my Facebook or my Instagram and I'll say, hey, I'm on LinkedIn. Are you guys on LinkedIn? Go follow, let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm posting some cool stuff over there. I'd love to see what you're posting. Connect your LinkedIn to your website. When people go to your website and you have your little social profiles, put one on the bottom for LinkedIn. Use your blog to link back to your LinkedIn. So like I said, if you're posting blogs and articles that are the same, you can link back to each other. Some people just like to read them in a different format. This is also really good for SEO. and then add a LinkedIn link in your newsletter. So if you send out email blasts and you're like, hey, this is what's going on this week. Also, like, I published this blog on LinkedIn, or did you see so-and-so from our company got promoted and we like shared about it on LinkedIn? It's really easy to just, it sounds silly, like, but just talking about that you're on LinkedIn on other platforms will get more people over to your LinkedIn. So don't panic. I know we talked about a lot of stuff. I told you that we're recording this, but maybe you're like, oh my gosh, this was a lot of information. How do I even begin? I won't leave you hanging. I created a parting gift from me to you. This is a weekly LinkedIn content planner. So this is in Google Sheets. So you'll be able to open up a link that I'll send you in an email, and you can make a copy of this and fill it in. So there's dates, there's the day of the week, the type of content you want to use. There's a spot for your caption. You can link if you make a graphic. You can put your hashtags in there if you want to tag anyone. This is how I create content and keep myself super organized. This is how I do it for all of my clients. This is how I'm able to create content for multiple clients months at a time and stay ahead of the game. So yes, this is the weekly LinkedIn content planner. And one more thing. I know we only briefly touched on content creation, so I'm going to host another workshop on Thursday, September 23rd. It's 12 to 1, and this is literally just about my magical content creation system that allows me to create a whole month's worth of content for my clients in just one day. So if you really feel stopped by content creation, and even after sitting through this, you're like, yes, I can absolutely do my LinkedIn profile. And I was listening to the content creation piece, but like, it is not for me. You can come here. You can scan that with your phone right now and register right now. And yeah, I really hope to see some of you there because, like I said, content creation is my favorite. And this is a free workshop that I'm just offering to my chamber friends. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, my website. I have blog posts that are super helpful. All my blog posts that are like free information of social media management, content creation, graphic design for small business. I have had so much fun putting all of these LinkedIn strategies together for you. And I'm going to really stop sharing now. I'm going to really stop sharing now so we can take some questions if anyone has any questions.
Thank you so much, Mallory, for today. And you'll all be getting a follow-up email from Mallory going forward here. So you can connect after. If there's anything, you start to use LinkedIn, you get a little confused, can hit her up after. But overall, look forward to seeing you all at hopefully another chamber event in the near future here. So without further ado, enjoy your bonus 15 minutes here for your lunch break or whatever. Look forward to being in touch.
Thank you.